Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of God of Ragnarok. In today's video guys, I'll be dropping a new build and guide of how to beat GNA in New Game Plus. For all those who are struggling with GNA on New Game Plus, this guide will be very helpful as I will explain every single thing in this guide, and in detail I will explain how to use this build as we fight GNA. With that being said guys, let's get right into it. So first thing I want to say guys is this build is centered around doing a lot of melee damage, which is based off our strength. And we also be doing a lot of runic damage. So we're going to try to get as much runic as possible. And we also be going to doing a lot of healing based on our reach. And I will get right into that in a few and talk about it. So let's show some of the stuff we're using first. Let's get into the weapons here. We're jumping into the Leviathan axe here. It's maxed out at the moment, and we're using that axe attachment grip of the 9 rems plus. We're not really using that so much for the rem shift, which is momentous shift here. As you can see there, activating Glacial Permafrost, L1 plus Strangle, while Permafrost is full, triggers a rem shift. We're not really using it for that, we're actually using it for the stats that it gives, which is the runic of 38, a cooldown of 38, and the lock also of 38. Lock is going to be very important, as was also explained later on. So moving on here, we're going to talk about the light runic attack. We're going with the one that's very quick and does some nice damage. Yeah, you see there, and some frost damage. So we're going with Nord's Tempest there. For the heavy runic attack, we're going with Breath of Tamar. As you can see, the damage is maxed out. There's a lot of damage here, and we got some nice frost damage here also. For the Blaze of Chaos, we're going with the Blaze attachment Deadly Obsidian Handles. It gives us a lot of strength, as you can see there. And we also get a low lock chance to grant a rage boost on any blade's kill. As rage boost is very important for this build, But since we're fighting Gina, it's not really gonna give us that rage boost, but it's gonna be very good for other bosses and enemies. As you kill them, you get that little rage boost. I'll explain it later on, but let's continue on here. For the light runic attack, we're gonna go with Rampage of the Fury since it does a lot of damage, as you can see there. And for the heavy runic attack, we're gonna go with Atlas Eruption. That also does a lot of damage. It also does a lot of burning, as you can see there. So those are the ones I'm sticking with. Continue on here. For the Drapna of the Spear now, we're gonna be using that spear attachment here. Hints of the Four Winds, which is maxed out. Give us a lot of strength, as you can see there, and a lot of defense. Adds a concussive wave to the end of the spear. We're using that there, trying to max out all that strength as possible, and also give us a lot of defense also, since we're going to be taking a lot of damage. The more defense, the better. The light runic attack, Mountain Splitter, that's the one we're using it because it does a lot of damage. And for the heavy runic attack, we're going to be using Visval's Windstorm. Does some good damage, and is very quick also. I would use Artillery of the Ancients since it does a lot of damage, but sometimes Gina can interrupt you while you're using this move with her red unblockable move. So I stay away from this one. I use this one here. It's faster. Just so I won't get interrupted during my runic attack. So moving on to the shield here. We're using Shattered Star Shield, which is maxed out at the moment. It gives a lot of defense and a lot of runic, as you can see there. And when we double tap, we get to see the double tap L1 to shield punch and blow enemies back while increasing power when fully charged. So you can charge shield and you can move around with it, and you can do some damage when you double tap that L1. For the shield attachment, we're going to be using Run of Purification. When Kratos is afflicted with Frostburn, Poison of Bifrost, Shield Strike, double tap L1 Hits will cleanse the status and deal that element's damage to enemies. Contagion discharge. So we're going with that there, and we're going to be using that attachment also, the shield attachment for run of purification for the strength that they give us, which is 51, and the defense, which is 43. And we also get that contagious discharge when creatures afflicted with frostburn, poison, or by frost shield. Double tap L1 hits will cleanse and the status and deal that element's damage to enemies. So that's pretty good. For the Spartan Rage, we're going to be sticking with Valor since the build is being centered around using our Rage a lot. So we don't just hit L3 plus R3 very quickly, use a little bit of Valor, and we get that boost, which I'll explain later on. So by timing this right, you can negate some of the incoming attacks, and you could also gain additional boost of healing and melee attack bonus, which is going to be very good for this build since we're doing a lot of melee damage. For the relic, we're going to be using Hilt of Skofnug. Get it from defeating the Berserker King. It does a lot of damage in New Game Plus. The sword unleashes power from the souls within, and you guys should know how that works. So that's the relic we'll be using. Moving on here. For the armor, I'm going to explain every single thing in detail. I'll tell you exactly why I'm using all these armor with the amulets and stuff. I'll come back to the armor and talk about the amulet, the stuff we're using for the enchantments and all the stuff. So let's get right into it here with the Cuirass of Ares. This set is very good. This chest is very good since it gives a lot of strength of 100, defense of 80, vitality of 60. The build is very good when you have a lot of vitality also. We get that luck of 60, which is going to be very important also. As you can see, the Rage of Ares. Rage hits have a luck chance to drop a Hellstone. Hellstones are now also grant Rage and also triggers bigger explosions. So we're going to be getting Hellstone and also Rage stones, and we get explosions. We gain damage, we gain health, we gain bigger explosion, we can be more damage, and we're going to be getting a lot of health and Rage to cover you back. So that Cuirass of Ares maxed out. Okay, you gotta get it maxed out. It's gonna be very good. Gonna do a lot of damage, also a lot of healing, and a lot of Rage regeneration, which is gonna be very good for the build. For the wrist armor, we're gonna be using Swords Wraps of Courage. I know, well, I have a different appearance here, but this is what we're using here. We have the black bear appearance, but we're going to be using, as I say, Sword Wraps of Courage, give us a strength of 113, and give us that vitality of 63, which is going to be very good for the build. Chance to grant a rage burst when damage is taken. The luck chance increases the lower creature's health. And we're going to be using waist armor also. Soul Belt of Courage, give us a defense of 113 and a vitality of 63. Vitality is very good for the build and defense because we're going to be taking a lot of damage. We're not going to be blocking a lot. We're not going to be dodging. We're not going to be parrying. It's not about perfect parrying and all them stuff. It's about taking damage and healing and just doing a lot of damage on her. You see, chance to grant the rage burst when damage is taken also, and both of those armor combined give us rage burst amount of 24. And for the amulet, this is a very important part here for the build. So for the amulet, we get into it here now. Talk about amulet. So we're going for Jotunheim's Force, giving us a strength of 6, defense of 6, runic of 6, cooldown of 6, vitality of 6, and luck of 6. Give us a lot of stats right here. And for the Jotunheim's Essence, we get strength of 4, vitality of 4, and luck of 6. Jotunheim's Honor, sorry. We get defense of 4, Vitality of 4 and luck of 6. And we want to get that perk active there by having all those 3 there. Set bonus increase Kratos' maximum rage based on his vitality. So Kratos' rage bar is going to be a little huge than how it normally be, because he's going to have a lot of vitality. As I said before, we need a lot of vitality for this build. So come down here to Boon of Valor. Since we're using Valor, Spartan Rage Valor, he's less, but provides a powerful buff of strength. So we're getting that buff for the strength, doing a lot of damage, and we're going to also be life stealing from GNA, well, taking her life. So we're going to be life stealing, doing damage on her, and healing ourselves back. Moving on here, Celestial Panacea. 25% resistance to all status effects. This includes frost, burn, blind, daze, poison, shock, and bifrost. Mainly we using it here for the bifrost, and sometimes she does a move where she could stun you. That's why we using this here for. It's good for all bosses, you know, all status effects. So I'm using this here for this build, just for her, because Gina does that bifrost. We're also using Remedy of the Bifrost, successful attacks against enemies will cleanse small amounts of Bifrost from Kratos' health bar. So, say Gina does a move and like inflicts Bifrost on us, we just gonna have to attack her and get rid of that Bifrost very easily. And then we're gonna be using Greater Regenerate Essence. That's why I say we have to have a lot of Vitality. You know, Vitality required for that to be able to work. You need 100, 170. So adds a greater amount of constant health regeneration. So just by dodging or blocking or just attacking, you're going to be regenerating health. And also with the Boon of Valor here, you're going to be getting health from that also, and I will show that later on. Stone Isle of Souls. This is also going to be very important for the build. Using health stones or rage stones grants soul steal, during which a small amount of health and rage is restored when striking enemies. So we also going to be getting health by attacking her, which is going to be very good. We could be taking a lot of damage and continue to attack her, and we'll be healing ourselves. And I will show this later on. Then we have Fate Breaking Engraving. After returning from rage, get a brief buff to strength, defense, runic, and stagger resistance. That's a lot of buffs right there. Strength, defense, runic, and stagger resistance. So we're going to be getting a lot of buff to our damage, our defense, and we're going to be proccing Valor a lot for the build, and I will show you guys while I'm doing it, just to heal back a lot and to get those buffs. We want to get that Raging Aftermath buff, and we also want to get the Valorous Bloodthirst buff active. You know, buffing our strength, so we want to get as much buff as possible to do a lot of damage, because we're doing a lot of melee damage, and we might do some runic attacks. For the demonstration, I'm just going to use a Leviathan Axe just to show you guys how much damage I'm doing with the melee attacks and how much healing I'm doing. I'm not really going to use the Blades of Chaos and the Spear, so I'm mainly going to be using the Axe mainly, just to show you guys. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into it and explain how I use this build. Alright guys, you guys stay tuned. Alright guys, let's demonstrate. So we're going to be using our Rage a lot, the Valor. Get the Valor there. Heal myself. Inflict damage so I can heal myself also. Get those buffs so you can see the Valor Battle, Raging Aftermath. Every time I use Valor, you can see there. Soul Steal also when I use the Healing Stone. I get health back and I also get back some rage. Taking damage also from the armor that I'm wearing, the hands and the waist, the wrist and the waist. I'm getting back my rage also. Having my buffs active, my defense is also high, that's very good, so I take less damage. from her unblockable attacks. I would normally dodge all these attacks, but I'm showing you guys, taking all the damage. Some of them I so used to dodging them like muscle memory, but I'm trying to like take most of the damage for most of the fight. That's why I can show you guys how I heal a lot. And just by wearing the Ares armor set, guys, the health stones are going to be dropping a lot and doing a lot of explosions. Use it there, you see. I'm also getting that soul steel because of the enchantment that I'm using. The stone idol of souls. Giving us that stones, soul steel there, stealing her soul. While soul steel is active, just to get damage on her, just to heal back myself. I'm also getting healing from the great and regenerating essence there. That other enchantment also getting a lot of healing from it. So I'm getting healing over time. Also, as you can see, I'm not attacking her, I'm getting healing over time. Constant healing over time. So I'm getting healing from the Boon of Valor, the Stone Idol of Souls, and the Great and Regenerate Essence. There's a lot of healing. And I'm getting a lot of buffs. You see how she's interrupting my attacks with hers when I'm doing my runic attack sometimes? Yeah, so that's why this build is very good. I'm taking a lot of damage during this fight. I'm doing my runic attack here and she interrupts me. Taking a lot of damage here. Activate my rage again. Do some good egg damage. You see how much damage I did, and recovered a lot of health, and I recovered a lot of rage there. So my rage bar is constantly refilling, and my healing bar is also constantly refilling. Constantly getting a lot of health stones. You can see all the buffs at the side there, the fast bloodthirst, raging aftermath, and soul steel. And the more damage I do, I'm stealing her health, and I'm also doing the soul steel also. So I keep on attacking her. And the other enchantments for the Bifrost, so just gotta keep on attacking also just to get rid of that. Not really blocking and parrying too much, as you can see there, guys. I'm just on her just on her doing all the attacks as possible. Taking all the damage here just to show you guys. I'm gonna heal myself. See if I can heal it. Never mind, she dead. Yeah. So as you can see there, I took a lot of damage. Watch all those buffs at the side there. Gift of Strength, Raging Aftermath, Volus Brutus, Soul Steel. And taking a lot of damage, not really blocking and parrying a lot compared to my other builds that I use with the Berserker build. With that build, you have to block and parry a lot because, it takes so much damage. But this build, you could eat all the damage and just heal yourself because with the Ares armor, the chest armor, as I said before, you tend to get a lot of health stones to drop, and by using that enchantment also, the Stone Idol of Souls, you also gain bonus from that. You gain the rage to increase, and you gain your health back to also increase, and you're also doing damage, so you're soul stealing and taking some damage from her also, and you're healing yourself, so that's pretty good. So yeah, guys, if you guys like this build, give it a thumbs up. If it helped you guys, also give it a thumbs up. Try the build and see if you like it. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys here. Share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care.